to the cable abduction exercise. So add means you're adding the weight to you, but now the abduction is where we're going away from ourselves. Petra's not upset with me, she just has to be back to the camera so we can do this exercise correctly and you get the best view. So with the cable abduction, there are 3 ways to do this one. If you're doing cable adduction, so pulling the cable inwards, this would be a recommendation for you, where you're going to just flip yourself over, balancing on one leg, feet it together to start with. The leg that's going to stabilize you, you're going to bend that knee and then your hips go slightly back. The leg that moves, that's the weighted leg with the strap, you're going to push it out to the side and back in. Now with the hands, I like to put the hands on the stomach so I feel more stable when doing this, and we're literally keeping that right leg locked out, pushing out as far as we can without feeling our hips shift. So if we were to align Petra's hips, they're staying quite static. Now if you are to push too far, you'll see, let's go too far Petra, you'll see Petra shifts. That means you've gone too far. Stop there. Now let's bring it in alternative number 2. So you're going to step over. So if you're feeling that's more glute med, if you wanted to feel it a little more backside of the glute, personal preference here, you're going to push it out at 45 degrees. That's why Petra's turned around, so she is facing the cable. So these first 2 options work well for someone who is dealing with a little bit of instability in the hip, maybe some back pain, or you just feel unstable when you're training and you want to create a little more activation. These 2 are really good for you. There's 2 variations. Remember, the biggest thing to work in is being stable on the foot, slight bend of the knee, hips back, and then really working the movement through there. Again, it's not super fast, it's slow and controlled. As you become more confident with this movement, you will get faster. Third variation to work with the cable adduction. Abduction, remember again, add is adding to your weight, abduction is away. So Petra is actually going to hinge from the hip, grabbing onto the cable machine itself so she's nice and stable, because this is a loaded exercise. So if we're looking to grow the glutes, one of the things is to progressively add load over time. Now, the problem is when you're working stability, you can't load it too much because you'll lose your balance. So what we need to do is we need to create an anchor point, which is grabbing onto the cable machine, bending the standing leg, so the left leg here for Petra, and then pushing out at 45 degrees and back in. Now, really make sure that we're keeping nice and tight through that midsection as we push the leg out. Now with Petra, she's letting it turn out slightly. We need to keep this leg straight, push to tension of the glute, and then back in. Now if you look where Petra's hips are, we actually only need to go to that 180 angle. If Petra goes further and lifts even higher, she starts to arch through the back or tilt forward. So that's why the hands on the machine to push against, so she can keep her torso stable and just force the glute to work. Now let's put it down and let's have a look. Push hard into the heel. So when Petra was doing stability work, she struggled to do 3 kilos. Now we've just doubled the load and a little bit of grinning, but still finding it pretty easy to do. Let's do 100 reps, shall we? And that is the cable abduction exercise. Enjoy.